We're about to peel back the layers on something we all do every single day, making choices. But we're not just talking about any choices. We're diving deep, right into the fascinating world of consumer psychology in Uganda.
So just for a second, think about the last thing you bought. Seriously, was it the price that sealed the deal for you? Maybe the quality? Or was there something else going on, something you can't quite put your finger on?
Well, it turns out that in Uganda, that simple choice is shaped by this powerful mix of social trends, personal dreams, hard economics, and some really deep-seated cultural values. It's complicated.
So, let's start with the layer that's literally all around us, from our social media feeds to our friend groups. I'm talking about the undeniable power of the crowd. Okay, so there's this classic idea in psychology called social proof, and at its core, it's pretty simple. It's the idea that we look to other people to figure out what to do. If everyone's doing it, it must be the right thing, right?
Now, in Uganda, this goes way beyond just online reviews. We're talking about viral TikTok challenges that can make a product sell out almost overnight. We're talking about powerful recommendations from your friends, your family, even your church group. And this is especially true for young Ugandans trying to figure out what's cool in fashion, music, and tech.
And you better believe brands are all over this. I mean, think about the refer-a-friend bonuses from telecom giants like MTN and Airtel. Or look at the way brands like Move It, Jumia, and SafeBoda use influencers to create all that buzz. They are all tapping directly into the power of social proof.
Okay, let's peel back another layer. We're moving from what the crowd is doing to what the crowd dreams of doing. And this is where we get into the really powerful world of aspirational consumption. So what is aspirational consumption? Well, it's when a purchase is less about what the product actually does and way more about sending a message. It's about signaling success, progress, or, just showing that you've arrived. In Uganda, this is fueled by what people are seeing in the media and from celebrities. There's this really strong desire, especially among young people, for what they call the soft life. And what's the quickest way to show that off? It's through the gadgets you carry, the clothes you wear, and, the car you drive. So, what are the big symbols of success in Uganda right now? We're talking about the latest iPhone or Samsung Galaxy for sure. Designer clothes? Absolutely. But it's also about supporting premium local brands, things like artisanal coffee, to signal a certain level of taste and sophistication. All right, so we've got social pressure and personal dreams pushing us in one direction, but there's another massive force, a really powerful one pulling in the complete opposite direction, the constant real-world battle between loyalty and price.
On one side, you've got brand loyalty. This is built on feelings, on trust, on habit. You just stick with what you know and love. But on the other side, you have price sensitivity. And with factors like income levels and inflation, the actual cost of things is a huge driver, and it forces you to be incredibly practical. This constant tug of war creates something really interesting, a kind of smart loyalty. Ugandan consumers are definitely brand savvy. They have their favorites for sure. But when it really comes down to it, their wallet often gets the final say. And once again, brands have to adapt. So they create loyalty programs like SafeBoda credits to keep you coming back. They offer products in those small, really affordable sachets, and they use all those promotions like buy one, get one to appeal to that practical, price-sensitive mindset.
Now, we're going to the very core. We're going beneath the trends, the aspirations, and all the economic realities. Here, we find the absolute bedrock of Ugandan consumer behavior: community and trust.
You have to understand, this is a fundamental shift in how we think about shopping. For so many people, a buying decision isn't made alone. It's influenced by your family, by elders, by your entire community. It's a collective thing. There's a saying that just captures this perfectly. People buy from people they trust, even more than they buy what they need. Think about that. In a market where quality can be a real question mark, trust isn't just a nice little bonus. It's everything. It is the entire foundation of a sale.
And why is trust so important? Well, because in an environment where scams and counterfeit goods are a genuine risk, you become very, very careful. Trusting the person you're buying from is the absolute best way to protect yourself.
Honestly, the rise of mobile money in Uganda is the perfect story for this. At first, people were really skeptical of this new, kind of invisible way of handling their cash. So what changed their minds? It was trust. It was built one transaction at a time by the friendly, familiar faces of local mobile money agents. They became the human bridge to this brand new technology. So when you bring it all together, you can really see how these deep forces work together. Tradition, it sets the unwritten rules. The community, it gives that stamp of approval and protects you from making a bad decision. And trust, which is earned over time, is the glue that holds the entire thing together. Without it, business just doesn't get done. So after that deep dive into all the layers of Ugandan consumer psychology, what's the bottom line? What are the big picture takeaways you really need to remember from all this?
First, and this is a big one, consumer choices are almost never made in a vacuum. That social context is king. Second, you have to remember that those deep forces of trust and tradition can often outweigh even practical things like price and quality. And finally, for any brand to truly connect with Ugandan consumers, it absolutely must speak the language of community, of familiarity, and of local value.
And that brings us right back to you. We've seen all these hidden layers at play in Uganda, but it really leaves us with one final question to think about. What are the unseen social, cultural, and emotional forces that are shaping the choices you make every single day?
Thanks for joining.